Hey guys, it is time to get ready for May and it is time to escape the readathon. Hey guys, if you are new, welcome to the Book Path. I'm Nicole, and if this isn't your first radio, thanks for sticking around. So April is just about done, which means May is coming, and with May brings Escape the Readathon. Escape the Readathon is a month-long readathon hosted by Lexi over at Books with Lexi. I will go ahead and leave a link down to the announcement video below. Every year she gives us some sort of scenario or theme that we are supposed to escape. You join a team, you read your books based on prompts to do different challenges, to escape different rooms, to be the first team to escape. Only one team can escape. The rest will perish wherever they are forced to remain. She has done ones where you escaped the Black Cat Carnival. I think last year was the kind of haunted cruise ship or the murder mystery cruise ship. This year, we are blasting off into space. Aliens have attacked our space station, I think it is, and we now have to race through the different areas of this spaceship space station to get to the escape pods. There is only enough escape pods for one team. Let the challenges commence. So in this space station, we have several different rooms. I think there's 13 in total, and then one for the escape pods. Each room has its own prompts, and you have to read a certain amount of prompts to get a certain amount of points to be able to escape that room before going to the next room. So we'll go ahead, I will tell you what each room is, what the prompts are, and just kind of some of the ideas I have that I might try to get through, because I might have to read more than one book for these prompts. So we need a little bit more than just one. I'm not really gonna go into details on the books too much, because a lot of these I have covered in other book hauls or TBRs, because a lot of these actually are, I'm able to pull from our TBR books for Romanceopoly or the Romance Bingo Challenge. So we might be able to triple up on these things, which would be kind of great. But let's go ahead and get through it. So first up, we have the command center. And in order to get through this room, you need to read a book that is one of your top three kind of fave tropes. You can't switch these three once you've decided which three it is. It's like, this is it for the entire challenge. So to kind of hold me accountable, I have my handy dandy notes if you can hear the pages burning. But my three tropes that I have chosen for this is, my first one is revenge slash second chance. I feel these two kind of go hand in hand. And what I'm talking about is the revenge where you see like a fated mate where he rejects his, where there's a rejected mate bond, or there's you're too poor, you don't come from the same socioeconomic background, you'll never amount to anything, you don't have any powers, so you're kind of rejected, or you're cheated on, you're betrayed, some type of thing, to where that character will have their glam up, their power moment. Maybe there was some lying and the person misbelieved the truth, and now their eyes are open to the truth and they want their person, their mate, their chosen one back, hence the second chance. So I feel like those two kind of go together, so I'm kind of putting them together in one kind of trope for that. Next up, we have our fated mates. I like the fated mates. I love the paranormal romances where you have their werewolf pacts with the fated mates, or the fae where you have their fated mate that they have to find, their chosen one. I just kind of like that, knowing out there there's somebody for you. It's the romance in me. It's the little girl, whatever. I like that trope. So we are going with the fated mates as our second trope. And as our third trope, for a little bit of fun, for a little bit of spice, we are going with a reverse harem, because I think these are just fun. I think when you have all these characters, they have all these differing personalities, and they always kind of make me laugh with the kind of quips they go back and forth with. So I do like me a little bit of a reverse harem. So we're gonna go with that. So examples of some of these books. So we have books like the Psycho Shifters series, by Jasmine Moss. This has my understanding. I haven't read it yet. I know this is on another readathon for me, but this my understanding is it's a paranormal romance with a reverse harem in it. So that has that. It might have fated mates. I'm not sure. You might be 2 out of 3 on that one. I don't know. The Infatuated Fae series, this is book 2. I have already read book 1, but this one does have kind of a fated mates, possible little bit of revenge or second chance in there. I don't know, they might touch upon that more, but I know that there's definitely kind of a fated mates concept in this series. Same thing goes for a fated mates in the Terran Soul series. This is your fated mates, but there's like cat shifters, like big, gigantic, fluffy kitty cat shifters. Like, funny, but it works. It works, and little floof balls or big floof balls, it works. But yes, there are fated mates in this one as well. As well as fated mates, I have for the Fire That Binds series. I have already read this one, but I know the second book is coming out or has been out. And this one does have a kind of fated mates thing to it. There is little elements of revenge between these girls and between the kind of kingdom or civilization that their fated mates are from. So they're almost a little bit of an enemies to lovers, a little bit, but they are fated mates. There is a little bit of possible revenge in here as well. So this is another series, and there are several more, especially within like the Romantasy series. So I'm really excited for that one. Our next room up is Winston's Lounge, and this is to read a book that you found on BookTube. So it can only be found on BookTube, but BookTube is what you're on right now. Any channel on YouTube that discusses books in all their glory. So if you are doing this challenge and you choose one of my videos for any of the the BookTube suggestions or like some of the other suggestions that are on here that we'll get to, let me know, because that would be like amazing to me to be like, yeah, this was on her. I can't even tell you, like my mind, the emoji, you know, mind blown. I would love it. That would be great. So if you do choose something for my videos, please let me know what you chose and what video you watched, because that would just be like a million thank yous for that. For this one, we have tons and tons of examples because I feel like almost a lot of what I've owned has been discussed at some point on somebody's channel. So we have things like Shield of Sparrows, which I still have yet to get to. We have things like Quicksilver, which I have yet to get to, but yes, it's been discussed on many a video. And obviously, I have yet to read Onyx Storm. I've been postponing it because I'm waiting until we get a little bit closer to the next book's reveal, so I don't have to like wait like everybody else, and I can be like a little bit, I don't have to be left in like suspense. But I've heard things. I've been trying not to hear things. So I'm trying to keep a blank slate open for this one. But yes, this is another one that's been talked about. So, I mean, you get the gist. If it's out there on BookTube, if it's got, you know, some acclaim, if somebody's rating it, someone's going to read it on their T.B.R., it is game. So next up, we have the Tech Center. And the Tech Center is to basically read a book that was blurbed by an author that you've read before. So for this one, it's going to be a little interesting. I have some of them here to show. Let me see. Okay, so we have ones like Spinning Silver, where on the back there is a little blurb here by, I don't know if you can see it, but Ursula K. Le Guin. And she has written the Earthsea series, which I am slated to do one of the books for a different challenge. So as long as I do that book first, this one would work because she's on there. We have The Night and the Moth, where on the back we have Hannah Witten, who did The Foxglove King, which I have read and I loved. So you know, books like that, you get the gist. There's other ones where you have Isle of the Gods, where there was a blurb by Alexandra Bracken, who I've read from, A Vow of Vengeance, which was blurbed by C.C. Robinson, who wrote, Blood Guard right there. So, you know, you get the gist. If there's a blurb on there by an author that you've read from before, it counts. So next up we have Cafe Nova, and this is to read a book in a different genre than your last book. This is basically like if you read, like I like keeping a touch of romance in the series that I read and the books that I read. So it would be like if I read a fantasy romance, I can't read another fantasy romance. I can read like a paranormal romance, I can read a dark romance, I can read a contemporary romance or a Western romance, but I just can't read the fantasy romance. So that I'm leaving up as a little bit of like a mood thing based on whatever books I've read, however we fall into this room, at what point my last read was, choose something different from that. So we're just going with kind of somewhat of a mood read on that one. So after that, we have the Med Bay, and this is to read a book with an isolated setting. So the rules are that the majority of the book has to take place at this one location, this one setting. And for that one, we have books like Storm and Fury by Jennifer L. Armentrout, Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton, and A River of Golden Bones by A.K. Mulford. All of these came up on the list for romantasy books with an isolated setting, so I have at least 3 choices to start off with on that one. Next, we have the Damage Control Center, which is to read a book with a setting that you have not been to. And this, I didn't put down any specific books because I feel like within the realm of like paranormal fantasy or paranormal romance, fantasy romance, you're gonna find a lot of fictitious fake settings that you have never been to. So anything kind of goes on that one, but also if you're reading something like a contemporary and it's taking place in like Italy, I've never been to Italy, so I could use that as my book for that prompt. Next, we have The Greenhouse, which is to randomize your read. This is just as long as you have more than one read, you can do like a spinner wheel, you can have people pick and choose, you can do like one of those emoji picks, things like that. So I'm gonna kind of see what I'm feeling at that point, and we'll see if I want to do a spinner wheel. We'll see if it's a time crunch, maybe I'll do the spinner wheel, otherwise maybe I'll throw it out in Discord to some people and see what they pick for me. So that's kind of a one to do at that point. So we'll see where we get to and what books are available for us at that point. After that, we have The Engine Room, which is to read an anti-wreck. And this is the fun one because I don't have any books listed for this right now. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this. But this is basically reading a book that didn't fare so well ratings-wise on somebody else's channel. I know I've done it on my channel at the end of every year. I usually do like the 10 worst books of the year for me, and I know that there's other people that do those books as well. Sometimes it's just simply an end of the month wrap up or something like I do, where if there's one that didn't fare so well for me, those are the ones to pick. See if it fares for you. It's not about choosing a book that's gonna like suck. It's about choosing something that maybe it didn't work for that person, but it might work for you. And I've had quite a few books where I've seen other people's worst reads and they rated those books, and I actually ended up like 4 or 5 starving those books, or 4 or 5 starring, sorry, can't speak. But I ended up really liking those books. So that's a fun one to do, and I'm gonna probably be visiting a lot of wrap-ups and ratings and things like that, and just kind of finding and seeing if they've rated something that's already on my shelves that I can pull from. After that, we have The Research Facilities, which is to read a book you borrowed. For me, this is great. I have like 2 shelves of bookshelves on my TBR that I have borrowed from my mother-in-law. So this gives me a wonderful excuse to finally choose from some of those books and read them, and then be able to like return them to her, because you know that I'm sure she's nice about it, but I would like to return them to her so that way, you know, she feels I'm making a dent in some of them. But it can be something you've borrowed from somebody. It can be something you've borrowed from a library app, like I use Libby, so something that I've used from Libby. And I think even like Kindle Unlimited may or may not work because it's a book you've borrowed, but double check her announcement video to make sure that Kindle Unlimited works. But like I said, it's something that you've borrowed, not something you go out and buy, not something that's already sitting on your shelves. It's got to be something that you've borrowed from somebody or someplace. Next up, we have the living quarters, which is to read a book with an author with the name below the title. Once again, I don't have a lot of like lists for you because I feel like there's a lot. So like something like A.K. Mulford's A River of Golden Bones would not work because the name is up here and then you have the title. But things like The Night and the Moth, title, name down below it. You have Onyx Storm, name below it. So, I mean, you get the gist. It's pretty much up for anything as long as you have the name first and then, I mean, well, the title first and then the name of the author below that. After that, we have the Sleeping Lodge, which is to read a book that a friend loved. Once again, this can be a friend you know in your everyday life that has recommended something to you. It can be a family member that's recommended something to you that they loved. It can be something you've seen from one of your friends on like Instagram or TikTok or Facebook or YouTube. It could be one of the channels like me, like all of the hosts for it, but books that they just love. I mean, I know, like I said, I have my 10 worst books. I have my 10 fave books that I do every year. So channels like that, videos like that are going to help you with that prompt. After that, we have Facility Management, which is to read an underhyped book. This is a book that you're not seeing raved about. Like, so something like Onyx Storm isn't going to work because you see everybody raving about it. Something like the Night and the Moth. A lot of the recent releases that everybody's kind of talking about right now, they're not going to count. But something that maybe is an indie author that's not really getting publicized about, that's going to work. Something that maybe came out 10, 15, 20 years ago that you're not really talking about today, I think that might work too. It might be a little bit of a stretch, but it's going to probably work too. But it's just basically a book that you don't see out there on social media today that you feel should be talked about a little bit more. So that's going to be something that I think also is going to be up to interpretation once I read the book, you know, and we'll go from there. Next up, we have The Gym, which is to read an author's latest release. Obviously, there are a lot, like just using it, Onyx Storms is Rebecca Yarros's recent release in that series. There are several books I know that are for series that I have read that they've just released new books. I think I just had it. Yep. The sequel to this one just came out, so that one's fair game. But just, you know, the newest book out from that author, from one of your favorite authors. And then we have our escape pod. And to escape, you have to read a book that matches any host's thumbnail. And the thumbnail, for those who might not be familiar with the term, is the picture of the video listed on YouTube that you are going to watch. So it could be anything from matching the color of the background on the photo. It could be that matches somebody's shirt. Like for me, if you find one that has like a turquoise shirt, that would match for it. Like, let's just see, maybe, yeah, like, there you go, 7 Deadly Thorns. If you haven't read it and you're doing the prompts, you're welcome, it matches. So, things like that. It could be matching the font. It could be if there are like flowers in the background, or maybe they do a flower border or something like that. You can use that and read a book with a flower cover. Like, you could use, well, I don't know if that's going to be in my thumbnail, but basically you just pay attention to the thumbnails, see what's there, and choose accordingly. It can be colors, it can be a theme, it could be a feel, it could be a vibe, whatever. It's kind of up to interpretation on that one. Now, to escape these rooms, there's no real rhyme or reason. It's just going to escape, and then you're going to be told what room you've escaped to. So they might not happen in the order that we have done, but you will have to probably go through all those rooms before you get to the escape pod room. Now there is some merch. Once again, if you watch the link in the announcement video, there will be links in that for that video to all the sites. Lexi does have some merch. I think there's some shirts and things. And then there are the stickers, which I got, but my youngest kiddo was really excited because he's very much into space and he loves the Escape the Readathon. Like, he always wants to know where we're going to escape next. And I asked him, where do you think? And he totally called it. And he's like, I think it's gonna be a spaceship. And then, so he was really happy to find out he was right and that it was this whole spaceship space station. And he loved the sticker, wanted to stick the sticker on. I do have like this little binder that I keep with all my kind of readathon information and rules. And I stick the stickers on the cover page that I put in that binder. So we already stuck it because he wanted to do it. So I was like, all right, buddy, pick your spot. So he picked it and he stuck it right there. So this is the Escape the Readathon sticker. I'm trying to hide some of the other ones because I do have a few other ones from, like, I think this is the Black Cat Carnival and then the Escape the Cruise one. And so I just started getting all the stickers and kind of sticking them on there for the readathons that we do. It's just kind of a fun little victory page, if you will. But in addition to the sticker, she has themed bookmarks for all the teams that you can join. So without further ado, I have joined the engineering team, and this is our lovely bookmark with it. Like, these bookmarks are always so awesome that she does, and they've got this beautiful reflection in it, and it basically says it's your boarding pass, and we are going to Bowser 4 for the robotics bay, which means never trust a robot. And it says establish 2026, build, and then it has crossed out a bear, and then it says robot. One upload only, and escape spacecraft, with some really cool stuff on there. And the back is just this really nice kind of purple. So yeah, like, you can definitely check them out and get some of the merch to go with this if you'd like. I always love to get the stickers and the bookmarks because then I use that bookmark for the entire month for all the books that I read, and it just kind of makes it fun. But yeah, so let me know if you guys are going to join in, what team you're going to be on. Are you going to be team engineer with me, or are you going to be fighting me to get on one of those escape pods? We shall see, but it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to get started. And so yeah, so if you want more information, check out the video in the link below for her announcement video. You get the rules, you get some links. I know that she has a Discord that they use where that's really kind of the communication, where you're gonna find out what room you're in, where you need to go, and you can work with your other teammates to figure out a strategy to escape. But it's a lot of fun in there, and everybody is really supportive and really cheers everybody on. So it is something that you can use there as well. But hopefully you'll join. Like I said, if you do, let me know what team you're on, and let me know if you use any of my videos for any of the video prompts or the friend prompts or whatever, because that would be, like I said, that would just be so awesome. But other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that April is coming to a close in a beautiful way for you, and that May is going to start off fantastic. For me, it is the end of the school year in May, so we are gearing up for all those last minute activities for school, as well as the countdown until the kiddos are once again ransacking the house for the summer. But it'll be fun. Also, to all of you mamas out there in all your various forms, I'm talking whether you are a mother to your own children, whether you have adopted, whether you have lost a child. I mean, my heart is with you on that. Whether you have taken on the role of mom as like an auntie or a grandma or somebody else who has kind of stepped in and been a role model for the children in your life. With Mother's Day coming your way, I wish you the greatest day, and I hope you get acknowledged for all the wonderful things that you guys do for these kiddos, whether they be little babies or fully grown babies like myself to my mom. Celebrate the day. Remember to tell them you love them and thank them for all that they do, as well as I hope everybody thanks and gives you the gratitude and love that you guys deserve. Celebrate your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.